Hello everyone, the Nerdy Steve here, and today we will be featuring Historic Merfolk. A link is in the description below. I'm going to talk a little bit about the card choices and general game plan, and then we'll play a couple of games. So, let's go. What makes Merfolk really powerful are two things. First, it is very consistent in that we have Silvergill Adept in Svyelun, which will keep on drawing us lots of cards and ideally into more merfolk. And just like all tribal decks, the more of your specific card type you have, the more powerful all your creatures become. Right? We have Master of the Pearl Trident and Merfolk Reejerey that pumps up all of our merfolk. And the more we draw into them, the more consistent and more powerful our deck and board state become. And unlike, let's say, other tribal decks, if you like draw a non-land card here or there, maybe it's just really hard for you to get back into the game. But with Merfolk, you can top deck a Silvergill Adept into another Silvergill Adept and just like overwhelm your opponent, or you can keep a hand and Silvergill Adept on two, and then you draw into more Merfolk. So that is one of the benefits. Another one is that because of Merfolk or Merrow Reejerey and Merfolk Trickster, there are a lot of ways you can interact with your opponent's creatures. So specifically against other aggressive strategies, not only are your creatures going to be just as big as theirs, you can kind of out tempo certain cards by tapping things before they attack, or using Merrow Reejerey to untap your permanent so you can cast multiple spells in a turn. And that allows you with the Svyelun and Silvergill to, cast more things and develop a bigger board. And what makes, besides we also are green, so Collected Company in a very tight tribal shell is always very good. We see that with angels and elves as well in Historic. And what is really great about Collected Company in this deck is, in addition to Merfolk Trickster, there is Spell Pierce, and you can go up and down in the amount of Spell Pierce or counter magic in this deck. But a lot of the times, a lot of these tribal decks have Collected Company, but nothing else to really do at instant speed. Maybe they have removal or not. But this deck, if you pass with 4 mana, there are multiple things you can have and can do. And so it just makes the Collected Company not necessarily as telegraphed as it would in other decks, which is always a very big plus. One of the interesting things about this version is, or things that I'm looking at and keeping into consideration, is I have 4 Secluded Courtyard and 4 Unclaimed Territory here. They're both lands that produce any color of mana as a certain creature type. We will choose Merfolk. But as we add those in, it does make Spell Pierce and Savage Swipe and maybe even Collected Company, though I doubt we won't have green mana by turn 4. But it does make Savage Swipe and Spell Pierce potentially a little harder to cast. So that is something we want to be mindful of. So, in summary, we want to cast Merfolk on turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, and then Collected Company on turn 4 to kill our opponent. Now let's see how that works in actual practice against people who are, doing stuff. So, let's go find out. Oh, tapped unless you control a forest or an island. So we can Shoreline Scout our way. Okay, we'll keep this. Our opponent is Luris, so I'm not exactly sure what is going on here. So I think we want to turn a Shoreline Scout into... Oh no, we could have just done a Hinterland Harbor, right? Maybe we want the 3 lands, though. Yeah, let's go with that. So we can Shoreline Scout into Speaker, another Scout next turn? Oh, okay. Oh yeah, we can just do that. That's... Much better. And now we can, so, Savage Swipe is target creature you control gets +2/+2 until end of turn. If its power's 2, then it fights. Yeah, so we get to kill that. And hope that we can just go off next turn, right? I mean, our opponent could do something. But if our opponent doesn't get lifelink or make a big enough selfless savior... Oh, portable hull? Okay. That's actually a little not good for us. Yeah. Oh, that's good. So that will trade there, and our opponent goes to 1. We really needed a Lord. GG. Well, we have to mulligan this hand. Oh, wait, do we have to mulligan? No, we don't. Because that turns something to a land. Obviously, we want 4 lands. But I honestly forgot. Wow, this card is so good. I think I want to get rid of this. If we can get to 4 mana, 2 CoCos can get us out of a lot of situations. I also wanted to talk about, I think this deck is, the reason why I like this deck now, or I'm playing around with it, was the recent nerfs in Historic to blue-red, Phoenix, and green-black food. Those were not particularly good matchups for our Merfolk deck. So, I think we're in a spot now where this deck can shine a little bit and do a lot of good things. And here's hoping it does. Our opponent's at 10. Our opponent is on probably some type of Goblin Shaman combo deck. I don't know what the black is there for. Oh. Supreme Edict, or Sudden Edict, was a card I did not know existed. So we can come on Kumena's to tap it. Now, this is a question. Do we want to... No, we just do this now. We could have waited to... Alright, yeah, GG. We just tapped them out. Good enough for me. Nicholas. Alright. We get to do a turn 2. Oh, no, I guess... Oh, no, we have come on a speaker. Turn 1. Turn 2, we get to Adept into... Who knows what. Oh, opponent. Are you on Omnath, opponent? I feel like you might be on Omnath. We really needed a land there. Or I guess to draw a land. Or Omnath Adventures, maybe, even though the Cave of the Frost Dragon's a little Monka, and maybe they don't have green, so that's probably a lie. I thought it was Omnath Adventures. I have no idea what this deck is. Doing pretty well, though. Dang. Let's reveal the same Merfolk card. And we can't attack. So, this is very, very bad.
Let's add this
Dovin, Hand of Control.
I'd be less frustrated if you had fewer flaws.
These can attack Dovin. Part of me wanted to Svyelun just because
I'm astonished.
if our opponent does have a Wrath, the Svyelun would live. Search for Escanta. No idea what's going on here. Okay.
I find your attacks unoffensive.
I will gladly take that name, Merfolk. So we can, if we Merfolk Reejerey untap our land, Mistbinder tap Fae of Wishes. That is 14 damage. Or no. Because target creature you control until turn. It fights no matter what. So 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We can only deal 16. Okay. So let's just tap that. I don't think we had lethal there. I mean, that's not good. Kinda wish I cast my other Reejerey. Would that have worked? I think it would have made everything live. Maybe, maybe not. Oh, wait. Oh, I guess it doesn't matter. Wrath of God. I think... Oh, Grandmaster of Flowers. Our opponent's deck is very, very spicy.
I could use the conversation.
Let's Realmwalker. Take action. We're just untapping everything. Maybe we should just bring our opponent down to 4, though.
I think I've done enough here.
I'm keeping the speaker in my hand in case one of the... Oh, Doomscar? Nice. One of the ways we would lose is if our opponent had a Doomscar type thing. And they did, but it didn't work, so GG. KEI. I will say, I wasn't thinking I'd be getting such high-ranked opponents, but, you know, I'm okay with it. I think we want to maybe get rid of that, because we have turn... So, by not getting rid of that, we have a... Next turn we have a turn 2 play, then we have a 2-turn 3 plays. This, we're kind of clogging up our mana, which isn't particularly wonderful, but I think it's fine. Wait, what? That is not the thing I was expecting. Our opponent's on Dragonstorm. I think we are woefully unprepared for this. Woefully. All right. I don't think we got it. If we draw one of our lords, it might work out. Six, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let's collect a company. If our opponent has a Spell Pierce, they have a Spell Pierce. But I think we have to go for it. Or Swan Song? Okay. Yeah, no, that was 100% correct. And we won! I'll take it! This is a very interesting hand. We're gonna keep... But I'm not totally in love, mainly because we can't ensure a second turn Master of the Pearl Trident. And maybe what we're supposed to do is Harbor turn 1, and then turn 2 Master, turn 3 Master, and so on. Oh, at least we're never punished, right? Master of the Pearl Trident does mean our opponent will not be able to block us because we have blue things going on, which is always nice. What do we do here? Pardon me, I wanna do the Adept now, because if our opponent does a board wipe or something, we might not even be able to. If we cast Master of the Pearl Trident to deal 2 extra damage, that turn we might not even cast the Adept the following turn, because we might not have a Merfolk in our hand. Disinformation campaign? Oh, wow. Let me just do my math. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think we can discard that, and we win. Right? Oh! Oh, we don't win. Because our opponent has to have a creature for Savage Swipe. Today, I learned. Oh, wow. Okay. Let's hope our opponent doesn't have a board wipe. I should have followed the same logic as Silvergill Silvergill Adept last turn. Maybe. Oh, though, putting them to 3 versus 1 is important, because it means that Water Grave has to be untapped if they had something like all creatures get -4/-4. Also, GG. Thank you all for watching me play some Merfolk in Historic. This deck was a blast. Really, really enjoyed it. I think it's very, very powerful. And I do think it is best of 3 viable as well. I have a sideboard here, but which will be below. But obviously we didn't do best of 3 today. We did best of 1. But it's just really, really, really consistent and very quick. And the opportunity to interact with your opponent's spells, like with Merfolk Trickster and Merrow Reejerey, and by spells I mean creatures, it just makes it so hard for any creature-based deck to compete with you on that type of level. And so I recommend it. It's fun. And I think there are a lot of interesting decisions to make. While, like, sometimes it can seem like these types of decks, you just play creature after creature after creature and attack and win. There is a lot of nuance into sequencing and also how you want to value certain cards versus your opponent's removal. You know, sometimes you want to bait out a Silvergill Adept on turn 2, so your opponent does removal on that, versus a Merfolk Mistbinder that will only pump up your speaker. But on the other side, maybe you want a Merfolk Mistbinder to deal more damage more quickly, and you want to save the Silvergill Adept because you don't know what you're drawing with the Adept necessarily, and sometimes it's better to save it when you can know the Merfolk Mistbinder is going to be a good turn, or good play that turn. So there are just a lot of different ways to look and sequence your turns that a lot of, just like, you know, a lot of people say that about mono red, in tribal decks, it is also very, very important to mulligan, to have everything planned out, to know how to efficiently use your mana to maximize the most damage, or to interact with your opponent's removal. So, I would recommend it, and I would like y'all to maybe even think about that type of stuff. Who knows? I could just be talking and not making any sense. With all that being said, though, if you haven't already, it's totally like, comment, or subscribe. It really helps me out. And or follow me at Twitch at twitch.tv/thenerdysteve. I think that's the website. I stream very, very often there. I've been on a limited kick lately, and if you want to watch that, you totally should. I'm also going to post below a link to a podcast I've been on talking about Alchemy Baldur's Gate Limited, and I would highly recommend watching it or listening to it. You listen to podcasts, right? Regardless, I hope you have a wonderful morning, evening, or afternoon wherever you are. Thanks for watching. Bye.